Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. Today is Wednesday, March 4th. I appreciate you being here. I am in my third trade of the week. Today, I am short for the first time in 2 weeks. I'm short a euro pair. Today it's euro AUD. As you can see, I'm up about 20 pips right now. My initial risk on this trade, and my stop is still at its original position right now, my original risk here was about 25 pips. So we're approaching 1R. Now, I was a little late on my entry this morning, about 15 minutes late. But as you can see, for the last 30 minutes or so, all it's been doing here on the 1 minute on the left side of the screen is coming down. We've got a nice 1 minute TDI in the sell zone. And on the 15 minute, candle by candle, it's been holding that 8 EMA, as you can see here, outside that yellow line. So again, if I flip to the FX trade, you can see we're up about 20. So we're approaching that 1R level. Now, this trade definitely has the potential to come down. Maybe this is the top for the week and euro pairs are topping out because they've been rising so much and now they're about to pull back. But I'm not in the business of calling that type of a move. In fact, I'll probably close some of this trade here as we push closer and closer to 1R. I like to do it from my cell phone right here. But if you're new to the channel, my name is Austin Silver. I'm the co-owner and head of trading here at ASFX. I appreciate you being here, checking out our trading videos. In our daily trading, I'm active in, let me pull this up here. I'm going to pull the 1 minute up big. I'm active in our VIP chat with our members, telling them what trades I like, where I think things are going to move, and why I think those ideas are going to come to fruition. It's important that you don't just sling trades around. It's important that you have reasoning, have precision, have details behind your edge that give you these risk-reward opportunities to trade. That's all this is knowing where your stop should go, knowing how much reward you can get, and being able to take advantage of that. So now we're up about 20 pips, like I said, almost 1R. With this trade, with a trade like this, I should say, on the 15 minute, the idea is to take it candle by candle. But because I entered the trade late, being up almost 1R, I want to make sure that before this candle closes in 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes, I want to take a little bit of profit. But I'm going to give it the time that it needs to potentially keep pushing. The thing in the way right now seems to be this zone set here at yesterday's low. If we can break past the bottom of this pin, which is 168.30, I think we drop to 168 flat at least. If I put on the ADR tool, average daily range, right, you can see average daily range tells us we can move down to 167.57, which would be a hell of a move. That would be 113 pips from my entry. So it would be a pretty nice trade. My thing with this thing, and what I hope you guys take out of this, what I'm trying to do better in all of my trades, is I want to see the winners through as best I can. I don't want to just bail on a winner and close it, leaving a ton of money on the table. And at the same time, you don't want to marry a winner, stay in too long, and then get back profits. So what I like to do is once I'm on, depending on the setup, for a setup like this, I'd grade it a C. On a C setup at 1R, I'm taking half the trade off, locking the stop loss and letting the rest go. As I go to 2R, I take a little bit more off. 3R, take a little bit more off. And as it moves, I will move the stop loss as well. But because it's a C setup, I don't try to leave the stop at the original position and let it develop further and further and further and give it a bunch of time. C setup, a little bit late. I see the risk reward. It's basically counter trend, and you have yesterday's low as resistance. So there's no reason to marry this and think it's going to tank all the way to the 800 EMA down here, which it could, and I'll have a piece on for that. But as we get closer and closer to that 25 pip, see we're up 22 now, as we get closer to this 1R level, that's where I'm going to look to take some profit off. Got some questions in the VIP chat here. Let me see. Right now while I'm on the call with you guys, I'm up 22.6. Let's take off half the trade right here, just about 1R. Now I'm telling them in the I'm gonna lock the stop loss at my entry price is 168.71, so I'm gonna put the stop at 168.70. And I can do that just by doing that here on my phone. Stop loss 168.70. Modify, and you'll see a change right there. 168.70. So now, if we come over here, I can put a line right there, just in profit, as you can see. So this purple line now will represent my stop loss, locked in profit, 50% closed. Actually, I can put that on. So doing markups, the reason I'm not ending this video with you guys is because a lot of people have actually been asking me, like, how do you do your markups? How do you do this? How do you do that? I'm showing you right here. So if we go to the 1 minute, what I like to do, and this is just for my documentation for showing you guys and showing everybody else. So here, I move that stop, go like this, here, 50% closed, stop locked. So that's my note saying where I did what, right? You see my entry point, you see the quick little pullback, and then you can see it moved from the entry now about 25 pips into profit. So that's that 1 hour level. That's where I have to take some of my profit and I got to lock my stop. Now, it could pull back to the 21, 168.60 and continue. I really like this 1 minute TDI, but on top of all of this, you don't want to be biased. You see this divergence forming with this rising RSI potentially here, falling price action. That divergence, if we go to the 15 minute, is actually at the low of day, basically touching the same low that we were at yesterday. Now, not saying that that divergence means reversal, not saying that, but I'm saying that if this builds, this could be showing us a reversal idea off that low of day from yesterday because it's a support zone. So another reason to take some profit here. I was late on the trade. It's a swapping TDI. It's counter trend. It's divergent at yesterday's low. There's a couple of reasons to say, hey, take your profit and now take it candle by candle on the 15 minute. So as you can see, we just closed there bearish, which is awesome. And I'm going to give it another candle. If it pulls back up to the 8 EMA, that's where it'll stop me out on the rest of the trade in profit and I won't lose any money. So I'm locked in, can't lose. Another winning trade. 3 for 3 this week, baby. 2 EurOCAD shorts, and now this Euro AUD, or excuse me, 2 EurOCADs long, and now this Euro AUD short. So I hope you guys are learning from all these trades. I hope you're seeing the repetitiveness of the patterns. This is an A1 entry. This is the bread and butter, baby. This is what we teach in the beginner course. So I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. It's 5:45 now. We're going to give it another 15 minutes at least. I'll let you guys know how this plays out. All right, guys, it is 6:07. So you can see I'm up 27, 25. It's fluctuating here in the remaining piece of the position. I have 25% of the original size still in. I actually just closed another quarter of it after closing the original 50% in that first clip with you guys. So now the stop is locked. The worst that happens is I get stopped 2 pips in profit on the remaining quarter. But the best thing that happens is maybe it continues to the downside as the day progresses. I don't get stopped in profit and we get to make a little bit more money. But a really, really good trade. I'm up over 2% now on the day just because of this one trade. The risk here, I hit it a little bit harder, but it's because I know these A1 entries work so often. Even if I had lost this trade, I wouldn't have sweated it because I would have known that I can just find the next A1, hit it with the same size if it's the right grade, and make that money back in no time and some probably. So for me, these A1 setups, because we've been trading them for so long, because I know I trade them so well, because I know that's my edge, I'm willing to take a little bit more risk on them. So that's why you see today being a really nice size win. So I'm not going to push it today. It's NFP week. Tomorrow night, Riley and I are going away just for the night to see one of her family members play in a band down in Atlantic City. So we're staying at a nice hotel for the night. And then Friday, I won't be trading for NFP. So this is a good trade on a Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm very happy with this. There's no reason for me to force another trade. I can manage this position. There wasn't a lot clean this morning. This was one of the cleanest trends that we could find. So to be able to hop in late, still bag over 1R, still put 2% in the account today with very little risk, I'm very happy with it. So I hope you're learning here. I hope you're seeing how this progresses. Let me just show you really quick on the 15 minute where we're at. You can see still holding outside the 8 EMA, right? So even with that piece closed, if we stay outside this 8, I'm going to be involved in it all day long. If it wants to break back through the 8, it stops me out in profit, and that's it. We move on. But I know that this level here, you can see from yesterday, could be where we bounce off of. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't come through as the day goes on by the end of the day, because that TDI is falling, but it might come back up here, retest maybe, I don't know how high it goes, and that's why the stop is locked in profit. But all of these trades follow the same exit management strategy, which is dependent upon the grade that I give it. So here, again, it's a C setup, which means at 50%, I'm taking, or excuse me, at 1R, I'm taking 50% at least off the trade and locking the stop, and then making decisions from there, candle by candle. Now here, it's a C setup, not only because of the swapping TDI, not only because of the divergence on the bottom, but also because I think we're at this significant level at yesterday's low that we could see a bounce off of. We don't want to just anticipate a break through that. That's forecasting, not reacting. So for me, I'm reacting to the fact that I'm up over 1R on a C setup with good size at a significant level that I know we could bounce off of, and that's why I'm majority out of the trade. So I hope all of this is giving you guys some clarity on why I make the decisions that I do, why it's very systematic, and why I enjoy the systematic approach, because I think that's what's led me to consistency, led me to profitability over the long term. So like I said, I hope this is helping you guys make better trading decisions going forward. We're going to let the rest of this trade finish itself out here. I'm up 26 pips in the remaining quarter of it. I'll come back on and update you guys. If I find any other trades, probably not, but I'll definitely come back on and update you guys on this trade when it's finished. All right, guys, it is just a few minutes after 7 o'clock now. You see it's 7:03 in the top right corner. I am not in the trade anymore. I just closed the entire thing. I pieced my way out here as it was coming down, as you can see via my notes. I took another little chunk off here. I took about 15% off when we were up 40 pips. This horizontal line going across the screen, the purple line, that is yesterday's low. What I'm going to show you on the 15-minute is the main reason I just took the full thing here, because we're sitting on that level basically. But I closed some more there. As it pushed down through that level, I actually took a little bit more off, and then with the 5% that I still had left, I finally just closed that here as it started to break back up towards the 50 EMA on the 1 minute, back through that level that we drew on the 15-minute. So if you look at the 15-minute, actually let me just flip you over to my other chart here. It's much cleaner. So if you look at the 15-minute, from the entry point, you see we dropped very nicely outside the 8 EMA, exactly as I would expect an A1 formation like this to do. When we reached the pin low, which I told you earlier could be the level that we stop at, you see us starting to slow down. Because we're slowing down there, because it's a C setup, because there's divergence building on the 1 minute, because it's a swapping TDI, and because it's counter trend overall, meaning the 800 EMA is below us, selling it, not on top of us, all of those things coming together. And then the fact that I'm up about, when I closed it, I was up about 46 pips, which was over 2R from the entry. I'm very happy to take the trade there, be done work at 7 o'clock, and move on with my day. I want to show you guys that you don't have to be stuck to your screens all day to make consistent money trading with just regular risk, like nothing super aggressive. I followed my rules perfectly here today, and that's why this trade was very little drawdown, very little pain, and then as you can see, easy to manage all the way down to a very, very clear take profit level up over 2R. And that goes into reading the risk reward, which in our course, I spend a lot of time breaking down how I read risk reward and how I want you guys to do it as well. I think you can see it if you watch enough of my live trade videos, but the thing is most people won't watch all of my live trade videos. If you watched every trade that I've posted so far on YouTube, I mean, imagine if I still had the 300 videos from 2018 into 2019 when I was working for that other company. If you watched all of those videos, you would really understand how I read risk a lot better than most people without even taking the course yet. So if you're looking for something to get you at least a little bit more consistent before you jump in and join our team, start rewatching these videos. You'll see these same patterns every day. You'll see how some days I trade till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then there's days like today where I trade until 7 a.m. The only thing I don't like about these earpods is they fall out when I talk and when I laugh. Other than that, they're fantastic. But anyway, trade is done. It's 7 o'clock. Speaking of earbuds, I'm going to the gym early today. I've got some other stuff to get done. I'm going to mark this trade up, send it to our VIP chat, do the whole thing later today. But knowing that we're in a C setup, like I said, knowing that we're up over 2R, bagging a nice win here, knowing we're at a level that it could bounce off of, I'm very happy with this win. So the rules were followed, the process is good, it's the same, it's consistent, and that's what's most important. The outcome is great. It's like the icing on the cake. The process is what's more important. And I think here, I followed it perfectly. The only thing is, yeah, I could have left a piece in and just walked off, but you know what? Some days, you don't need to do that. Take your win, come back tomorrow. I'm gonna let the bias shake out. We'll see how the New York market opens, and we'll go from there. So I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you're subscribed as always. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you found any value here so we can spread this to more traders in the community. And I will see you guys in the next trade.